Lecha Dodi, Likat Kala, B'nei Shabbat Nekabla, Lecha Dodi, Likat Kala, B'nei Shabbat Nekabla, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom Umevorach, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom Umevorach.
Dodi li vani lo haroeh bashoshanim. Dodi li vani lo haroeh bashoshanim. Dodi li mizot olam min hamidbar, mizot olam min hamidbar. Dodi li vani lo haroeh bashoshanim. Dodi li mekuteret mor ulevona, Dodi li vani lo haroeh bashoshanim. Dodi li. Shabbat Shalom and good evening and welcome. I am Rabbi Javier Carapan, and I am joined this evening by Leslie, Larry, and Warren, as well as by our technical team. Special thanks to our BOW committee for bringing us beyond our walls, and to our digital docents who are managing the streaming. If you are technically inclined and would like to help, please reach out to the office to find out more. If you're joining us on one of our virtual platforms, you will see information and links in the comments as well as in our e-news. Your page numbers won't exactly match the page numbers we're calling in person, but we are using all the pages you have in order. Is that true?
No.
No, I'm sorry. I'm reading.
You really should get a better script writer. I'm sorry. Yeah, the pages are going to be exactly the same.
Thank you. For immediate technological assistance, if you would please write down this number, 913-303-1134, and please text that number, and a docent will get back to you as soon as they can. For those of you who are joining us here in person, please remember that we're calling the pages numbers in the square brackets. I'm sorry, this is from another service. There's only one number on every page. We're using them all. Just pay attention.
You know
and
what?
follow
If you
us.
see brackets, I'm not going to judge you.
Thank you. That was just this is what happens the Shabbat 2 days before Rosh Hashanah. We're a little overtaxed, but let's take a deep breath, and on page number 10 at home, if you're joining us, we invite you to light the Shabbat candles as we together welcome Shabbat. Page 10.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehadlik ner, Shel Shabbat.
We continue together on page 18 as we join our voices in the opening lines of Psalm 92, Mizmor Shir Leyom HaShabbat.
Tov
lehodot l'Adonai ולזמר לשמך העליון. טוב להודות לאדוני ולזמר לשמך העליון. On this the day of days, my lips shall sing your praise, for I know that you always be here surrounding me. טוב להודות לאדוני ולזמר לשמך העליון. טוב להודות לאדוני ולזמר לשמך העליון.
My spirit takes release. I close my eyes in peace, for I know that from up above I hear a song of love.
טוב להודות לאדוני ולזמר לשמך העליון. טוב להודות לאדוני ולזמר לשמך העליון. Page 22, we join together in Lecha Dodi. Lecha lecha dodi, לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקבלה. Lecha lecha dodi, לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקבלה. la 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 la. Lecha dodi, לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקבלה. lecha dodi, לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקבלה.
שמור
וזכור בדיבור אחד, ישמיענו אל עמך.
אדוני אחד, שמו אחד, לשם אל תפארת ולי תהילה.
la 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 la. lecha dodi, לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקבלה. lecha dodi, לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקבלה.
לקראת שבת לכו ונלכה, כי מקור הברכה, וראש מקדם נסוכה, סוף מעשה
la 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 lecha dodi לקראת קלה פני פני שבת נקבלה לך דודי לקראת קלה פני פני שבת נקבלה
התעוררי, התעוררי, כי בורך מיורי, אורי, אורי שתברי, כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה
la 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 לך דודי לקראת קלה פני פני שבת נקבלה לך דודי לקראת קלה פני פני שבת נקבלה la 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 לך דודי לקראת קלה פני פני שבת נקבלה לך דודי לקראת קלה פני פני שבת נקבלה
בואי ושלום עטרת בעלה גם בשמחה ובצהלה תוך אמוני ים סגולה בואי חלה
לך דודי לקראת קלה פני פני שבת נקבלה לך דודי לקראת קלה פני פני שבת נקבלה la 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 לך דודי לקראת קלה פני פני שבת נקבלה לך דודי לקראת קלה פני פני שבת נקבלה
ברכו את אדוני המבורך
ברוך אדוני המבורך לעולם ועד. We continue together at the top of in the middle of page 29. Holy is the twilight, the realm of in-between. And so our sages taught, pray in the moments when light and darkness touch. We are all twilight people, beyond categories and labels. May the sacred in-between in this evening suspend our certainties, soften our judgments, widen our vision. Let it illumine our way to the God who transcends all boundaries and definitions. Blessed are you, God of all, who brings on the twilight.
Open up our eyes.
Teach us how to live. Fill our hearts with joy and all the love you have to give. Gather us in peace as you lead us to your name, and we will know that you are one. Open up our eyes, teach us how to live. Fill our hearts with joy and all the love you have to give. Gather us in peace as you lead us to your name, and we will know that you are one. And we will know that you are one. Shema Israel
זכותו
לעולם הבא. Continue together on page 35. You shall love the ones who are close with all your heart, with all your spirit, and with all your strength. Remember these words, inscribe them on your heart. Love them when they struggle, when they sadden and disappoint you. Love them when they fail. See the good within them, even when they can't. Look at them and listen, even when it's hard. Be grateful for their guidance, even their reproof, when they save you from yourself. Love them when they give you joy, and love them when they don't. When you lie down, let go of anger. When you rise up at dawn, begin again. Praise them for their deeds at home. Speak to them in public with respect. Bind yourself to the ones you love with promises kept and vows fulfilled. Open to them the gates of your heart, the doorway of your soul, and let them know you. So shall the ones you cherish feel your love, your presence, and your care. Continue together, page 41. Eternal, watch over my small domain of light and shadow, those few people who shared my love and all others upon this earth, that sometimes shakes with thunder and reverberates with lightning. Help us to live with fear and conquer rage. Heal the hate that makes us kill and covers the ground with the Red Sea that only you can part, so we may all walk through the wilderness to your realm of peace, where all men and women are one, and sing with blessed name.
מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש, נורא תהילות אוסף אל מלכותך, אהוב עליך, מוקיע ים לפני משה ומרים, צלי אנו ועמנו, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. ונאמר כי אתה אדוני את יעקב וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו. ברוך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל.
We continue together on page 42. Bless our sleep with peace, Adonai, and awaken us to life when we rise. With power sublime, spread over us spread over us. Sorry. I had to make it bigger and then I lost it. Sorry. Let's start together again. Bless our sleep with peace, Adonai, and awaken us to life when we rise. With power sublime, spread over us your shelter of shalom, and through your wisdom restore us, make us whole. Let your name proclaim your presence in our lives. Be our shield, make us stronger than the enemies we face, illness and war, famine and sorrow, and stronger than the enemies in our hearts, wickedness and sin. Carry us to safety on wings, for you are the monarch of grace, the sovereign of compassion. You are the one who cares for us and sets us free. Watch over us. We go forth to life. Watch over us. that we may come home in peace now until the end of time. Baruch Ata Adonai, Hapores Sukat Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Amo Yisrael ve'al Yerushalayim. שמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם, ברית עולם ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, וביום השביעי שבת שבת ויהי נפש שבת שבת ויהי נפש שבת שבת ויהי נפש שבת שבת ויהי נפש. אנננננננ שפתי תפתח, אנננננננ ופי יגיד תהילתך. אנננננננ אדוני, אננננננ שפתי תפתח, אננננננ ופי יגיד תהילתך. אננננננ אדוני, אננננננ שפתי תפתח, אננננננ ופי יגיד תהילתך.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו ואלוהי אבותינו ואמותינו, אלוהי אברהם, אלוהי יצחק, אלוהי יעקב, אלוהי שרה, אלוהי רבקה, אלוהי רחל ואלוהי לאה, האל הגדול, הגיבור והנורא, אל עליון, גומל חסדים טובים וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסרות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה, מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן. ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם בעזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי מתים אתה רב להושיע, מוריד הטל, מכפר חיים בחסד, מחיי מתים ברחמים רבים, צומח נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בגבורות ומי דומה לך, מלך מביט ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה, ולמען אתה להחיות מתים. ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי המתים. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, Ukdoshim b'chol ruach hasela. Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh. לרצון אמרי פי והגיון ליבי לפניך יהיו לרצון אמרי פי והגיון ליבי לפניך Adonai Tzuri, Adonai Tzuri, Adonai Tzuri, Begoali, Adonai Tzuri, Adonai Tzuri, Adonai Tzuri, Begoali. יהיו לרצון אמרי פי והגיון ליבי לפניך יהיו לרצון אמרי פי והגיון ליבי לפניך Adonai Tzuri, Adonai Tzuri, Adonai Tzuri, Vegoali. Adonai Tzuri, Adonai Tzuri, Adonai Tzuri, Vegoali.
This moment in our service, we turn our thoughts to those in need of healing. Those of you watching our streaming, you may have access to the Mishe Berach list through the e-news that you received this morning. You can also follow the link in the comments. If you'd like to offer names, please type their names in the comments so we can all see them. Please go ahead and begin typing. For those of you here with us this evening, we invite you to share names as I go around our Beit Tfilah, our sanctuary.
Wendy.
Chris Gray. Of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. As we think of those in need of healing, we also think of those who help and healing health workers all over the world during this time of pandemic. May the one who blessed and led our forebears give countenance unto those who provide help for the ill and troubled among us. May they be filled with fortitude and courage, endowed with sympathy and compassion, as they give strength to those at their side. May they fight against despair and continue to find within themselves the will to reach out to those in need. And in their love of others, may they feel the blessing of community and the blessing of renewed faith. It is time for our Simcha moment. I just want to remind everybody, I did not say this at the very beginning, but tonight is our Ask the Rabbi, the High Holiday edition for those of you in person and at home, so you can start thinking about questions. But don't start typing yet because we're doing the Simcha first.
About the High Holy Days. Questions about the High Holy Days. Just, you got to be accurate. Got to be accurate with these people.
Thank you.
I know who's watching at home. I know you. I see you.
But for a Simcha moment, if you are so moved to share a special Simcha, a joy from this past week, we invite you to type your Simcha in the comments. And the Simcha may include birthday, anniversaries, good news, and accomplishments of all and any kind. Please use just a few words and press enter. And in just a moment, we will invite those of you here in person to come up to our Simcha microphone to share your joys from this week. So for those of you who are here in person, we invite you to join us at the Simcha mic. We ask that you come up one person or pod at a time. Please do not congregate in front of the microphone. And very important, refrain from touching the microphone. That's kind of the point, of not trying to share your breathing with everybody. So we thank you in advance for that. There is an X. If you stand in the X there, we can all hear you. And Dave in the back will be able to also catch you on screen so everybody at home can see you. Please tell us who you are and why you're here. I wasn't here last week, but I had a birthday last week. I took the Shabbat off for my birthday, so that was my simcha.
I am Andrea Zwiebelman, and I had a wonderful week. I got to visit my daughter and son-in-law in Connecticut. It was my first plane ride since COVID, and we were right behind Hurricane Henri, so we made good timing and good luck.
It's good, yes. Then Ida came, right?
Yeah, Ida hit them after that.
Are they okay?
Yeah.
I'm Judy Weingarten, and without going into any detail, I just want to say that our family received some good medical news this week.
Thank you. Anybody else? So today is the last Shabbat of Elul, as we say in Spanish, el último Shabbat. Nobody got that one. Someone at home might say, el último means the last one. El último Shabbat of Elul. I can't help it. So I brought for you a poem. Yes, Dave likes it. One more poem by Rabbi Rachel Berenblatt from her book of poems for Elul called Simi Elul Poems. And this is the very last week of Elul, and it's also the week of the waning half moon. So very soon you won't be able to really see the moon. That means that Rosh Hashanah will be here. And the poem for today, the 27th of Elul, is called Intend, with a D at the end. Intend. And what did I intend after all? To uncover beauty everywhere, to travel even into the heart of an enemy and unlock the rusted gate, to walk beside someone for a time, to share a simple sunrise as spectacular as a nebula unfolding, to act as though I were really the person your starry eyes imagine, to be a story remembered and retold. We now gather the simchas that you have all shared with us. I offer a prayer. Divine source of blessings, we thank you for everything that enriches our lives. We turn to you now with gratitude as we share in the happiness of those who have marked their birthday, anniversary, good news, and accomplishments. Adonai, be with them now and always. May they be blessed with the strength to overcome sickness and sorrow, and with much health and happiness, now and always. As we honor each one of you for the gifts that you bring to our community, together we join in song to mark this happy occasion. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam שהחיינו וקיימנו והגיענו לזמן הזה. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם שהחיינו וקיימנו והגיענו לזמן הזה.
Ooh, it's time for Ask the Rabbi. Questions about the High Holy Days.
So this is how we're going to do it. We are multi-axis, and so those of you here can ask a question. Those of you at home can also ask a question. You're going to have to type the question. Now, what happens if you're in the virtual sanctuary? You can text the TAL number a question. Now, those questions that are going to come via text are going to be repeated by Leslie Zucker here. So all of you here can hear it. And then your questions, I will repeat if I can hear them, or Leslie will as well. So we're all going to do this together. But before that, I need to set a timer because I get carried away sometimes. And high holiday is a big topic, so we only do it once a year. So, all right. Yes, Judy has a question, and maybe Leslie will repeat it for everybody.
Why is the new year in the 7th month instead of the 1st month?
Very good question.
This is an excellent question.
So, what actually historically happened is that in biblical times, the new year, the first month, was in the spring. And to tell a very long story, make it very short, later on in Jewish history, the Jewish people was exiled in Babylon. And in Babylon, the new year was in the fall. So when the Jews came back from the exile during the time of Ezra and Nehemiah, they began celebrating the new year in the Babylonian style, so to speak, in the fall. But they did not change the text that they had in the Torah. And in the Torah, the text that is used for Rosh Hashanah begins with the Uvachodesh HaShevi'i V'chad LaChodesh on the 7th month, on the first day of the month. And that's why it happens. So it's a little confusing, but that's part of the complexities of the Jewish calendar, because it also kind of combines a calendar that is lunar, goes by the moon and the sun at the same time. So you got both things. So you can have several layers of calendars next to each other. By the way, in the Torah, the months are named by number, but we now use actual names. All those names, like Elul, is not in Spanish, and Tishrei, but they're not in Hebrew either. They're all Akkadian, in other words, Babylonian names. Great, thank you.
How has Reform liturgy for the High Holy Days changed over approximately the last 100 years or so?
Okay, so very good question. Yes, but I'll answer in a broad way. I think that in general, one of the biggest differences between the rest of the Jewish world and the Reform movement is that on the case of Rosh Hashanah, we only celebrate that one day as opposed to 2 days. And so recently, there are actual congregations that are doing 2 days for Rosh Hashanah again. So that's kind of an evolution towards a little more traditional. And then the liturgy has become more traditional in a Reform way. I don't want to say Orthodox because we're not even close to that, in that we haven't gone from like an hour service to 2-3 hours average. So that would be what you would expect in a more traditional place. But our latest Machzor, Mishkan HaNefesh, has more of the traditional. It's a traditional flavor, if you want. So, and then, talking about the Reform movement, I'm thinking globally, then there are many more variations than just here in North America. So that also adds another layer there. By the way, my second congregation, my first high holiday pulpit was in the Upper Peninsula, so that was a small place. The next one was in West Texas, in the Permian Basin, and there the congregation belonged to conservative and Reform Judaism. So I did evenings were with the Reform prayer book, mornings were with the conservative prayer book. So we did it all, and I got a flavor of everything under the earth. And we did 2 days of Rosh Hashanah. So that was a kind of a different thing. So there's a Reform congregation that had people who were more part of the conservative movement. So there was variety in that very congregation. I was there for 2 years, so it was fun. Thank you. Anybody from online? All right. Yeah. Yes, Warren. Thank you.
Thank you. What dictates scheduling Slichot? What Saturday, and Slichot cannot be too close to Rosh Hashanah, correct? And
Correct.
What dictates that? How is that formula?
So Slichot is actually the way that we do it is really the Ashkenazic way. So what happens is that you have to have, like Rosh Hashanah could not fall on a Sunday, but the earlier it could fall was on a Monday. So if you have like a whole week before, then you go back to the end of Shabbat the previous week, all right? But in the Sephardic tradition, Slichot are recited from the very first day of Elul. The piece that people don't know, it's not that they don't know, but at least they don't have that experience, at least in our congregation, is that Slichot, the word is plural first. So that actually means that those prayers are recited more than one day. So the first Slichot is on that end of Shabbat, at least a week or so before Rosh Hashanah. But Slichot are supposed to be recited every day for that week. So that's the Ashkenazic way. The Sephardic way is to recite Slichot the entire month of Elul. So not only that there is great variety in that, but there's variety in the Jewish world in how Slichot is even done. And you can find actually separate books that are just called Slichot. And those are all not penitentiary, help me. Penitential, not penitentiary, penitential. Well, maybe.
You know what? If you're not penitential enough, you'll end up in a penitentiary. So it's all kind of related. Now I wonder if those words are related. They have to be, right?
Yeah, well, sure. A penitente in Spanish means somebody who is, a penitent, like in English. Right. Same word, right? Very good.
We learn so much.
Oh, well, yes. Other questions? No? All righty. Oh, you have one more? Go ahead. Yes. Right.
Prohibitions or suggestions of things to do during the days of awe.
I think the question was during the intermediate days between Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, right? Which in Hebrew they're called the 10 days of repentance, Aseret Yemei Teshuvah. So the idea is we have this question sometimes, in our congregation when we're planning things, what constitutes high holidays? Is it Rosh Hashanah to Yom Kippur? Does it start in Slichot to Yom Kippur? Does it start actually on the first of Elul to Yom Kippur? Or does it go from the first of Elul to Hoshana Rabbah, which is the last to the next day of Sukkot, and that's called the Great Redemption, kind of on the same topic. So there are many sort of degrees of repentance that one can do on all those different days. So the so-called 10 days of Teshuvah, which in wonderful Jewish fashion, they're actually 8, but we'll call them the 10, right? Because Rosh Hashanah really lasts 2 days, and then Yom Kippur is half of the, anyways. But the 10, also called 8 days of Teshuvah, are days when we are supposed to have some special moments to prepare for Yom Kippur, whether you begin to prepare for Yom Kippur on Rosh Hashanah or on Slichot or on the 1st of Elul. But other than that, there are no real, it's not a Yom Tev of any kind. There are no real restrictions for really anything during those days. They are not like, we do have a category called the intermediate days of a holiday, the intermediate days of Pesach and the intermediate days of Sukkot, Chol HaMoed. There are more restrictions on all those days. They are semi kind of holidays. And sometimes they have to do with Shiva and mourning and things like that. But there's nothing on those 10 days other than this more of a part of a bigger picture. Well, you have that.
Yes, we had a question from home, and that is, what is your sense of the term renewal, specifically in relation to Rosh Hashanah? How you see renewal as part of the holiday?
Right. This reminds me. So at the very a lot of the talk about Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur for the high holidays in general are about Shuvah, repentance, and return and all that, which we rabbis talk about that all the time, and I will do that again on Monday. You're not going to get away without me talking about Shuvah. But the piece about Rosh Hashanah is that, in a sense, Rosh Hashanah is a separate holiday, not really connected to Yom Kippur. I know you're going to go like, what is he talking about? Well, we see them connected, but all these things that we talked about, preparation, from Elul and all that, even through the end of Sukkot, are really about the Teshuvah process. But Rosh Hashanah kind of sticks in the middle, and it's more about the words that come to mind when you talk about Rosh Hashanah, in the liturgy in particular, have to do with the creation of the world, God's sovereignty over the world, and things more universal. And I had chosen a text to conclude, which I think is right up this idea of renewal, and is that at the beginning of the holiday of Rosh Hashanah, we say a prayer supposed to say a prayer when we eat honey and apples. It's not a prayer like Baruch Atah Adonai, it's more like a kavanah, an intention. And in Hebrew it says, Yehi ratzon milfanecha, may it be your will, Adonai our God, that techadesh aleinu shana tova umetuka, that we will be renewed for a year of sweetness. And what happens is that Rosh Hashanah, again, stands alone as a universal holiday. The text I wanted to share with you to conclude comes from one of my favorite writers, Harold Schulweis, who was a disciple of Mordechai Kaplan. And he writes that Rosh Hashanah speaks to the entire world because Judaism is a global religion. Rosh Hashanah doesn't celebrate the birth of any particular religion because God did not create religion. God created the universe, and within the universe, humanity. And the singular biblical verse that resonates throughout Judaism and world history is a verse in Genesis chapter 1, verse 26. God created every human being, man, woman, and child, in God's image. Whatever color, whatever race, whatever ethnicity, God created every human being with divine potentiality. And that is what is renewed every year, that creation of the world and the opportunity. Now, Of course, then when we connect that to Yom Kippur, then that becomes the opportunity to do teshuvah, repentance. But that's not the original intent of Rosh Hashanah. The original intent of Rosh Hashanah is to, when we did with the kids, and we're not doing it this year, I'm sorry, because of COVID, but we used to do a cake, in celebration of, the birthday of the world. That's sort of the more popular version of what Schulweis is talking about, that Rosh Hashanah is really about the renewal of creation. And we do read on the morning prayers that God, mechadesh bechol yom maaseh, excuse me, mechadesh bechol yom maaseh vereshit, that every day God renews the work of creation, of Genesis, of Bereshit. And as such, then, every day can be Rosh Hashanah, but Rosh Hashanah is kind of a time when we all do it at the same time. But it's about the world, and it's not about, although we Jews celebrate it, the idea is there's really nothing, quote unquote, Jewish about Rosh Hashanah. It's really about the creation of the world in general. So, thank you very much for your wonderful questions, and I'm looking forward to now, after this, really entering our high holidays and the 10/8 days of repentance after that. Thanks, Leslie, for your help, and Aviva.
You're welcome.
In the back, thanks. We continue together. If you're able, we invite you to stand on page 78 for Aleinu L'Shabech.
Aleinu l'shabech ladon hakol, לתת גדולה לעצב ראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו
Page 85, I invite you to join us as we prepare for a moment of remembrance. Sunset and evening star, and one clear call for me, and may there be no moaning of the bar when I put out to sea. But such a tide as moving seems asleep, too full for sound and foam, when that which drew from out the boundless deep turns again home. Twilight and evening bell, and after that the dark. And may there be no sadness of farewell when I embark. For though from out of burn of time and place the flood may bear me far, I hope to see my pilot face to face when I have crossed the bar. Our thoughts now turn to our loved ones whom death has recently taken from us. We are we heard of the passing of Henry Osman, brother of Stan Osman, and we are observing the Shloshim period for Isla Turi Brown, mother-in-law of Lon Lowenstein, Ruth Rivi Zifrin Lerner, aunt of Steve and Margie Cooper, Miri Sarit Clapper Frillick, niece of Phyllis Goldberg, Craig Zucker, brother and brother-in-law of Dave and Leslie Zucker. On this Shabbat, we remember the following yortzites of members of our congregation: Pearl Bayer, Susan Diane Shukran, Ann Dubrov, Judy K. Epstein, Ron Greenbaum, Joseph Hamovitz, Samin Kucherovsky, Mary Stitch Lilly, Betty Moskowitz, Harold Meyer, Richard Rosenfeld, Ben Zion Rothstein, Rosalie Schoenwetter, Edna Shaw, Howard Shaw, Yaakov Schuklapper, Philip Speisman, Lois Cram Turner, Mark Weingarten, Robert Zapula, Ross Zucker. Zichronam livracha, may the memories be a blessing now and always. The congregation on page 86, we rise together to recite Kaddish Yatom, the mourner's Kaddish. יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, בעלמה דברה חירותה וימליך מלכותה, בחייכון ובמכון ובחיי דכל בית ישראל, בעגלה ובזמן קריב, ואמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מברך לעלם ולעלמי עלמיה, יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל, שמי דקודשה בריחו, לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, דא אמירם בעלמה ואמרו אמן. יהי שלמה רבה מן שמיה, וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן.
עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו amen.
We'll turn it over now to Aviva Simons, Director of Member Engagement for our congregation, for some announcements and special announcements. Thank you.
Shabbat Shalom. First, thank you to our worship team this evening, Rabbi Katapan, Leslie Zucker, Larry Meyer, and Warren Sickle. And also thank you to Dave Zucker in the back, who is literally bringing us beyond our walls this evening. Join us tomorrow morning as we continue celebrating Shabbat. We will begin with Sichat Shabbat, our Shabbat conversation, at 9 o'clock a.m. on Zoom and in person. And then we will continue with our Shabbat morning service at 10:30 a.m., multi-access. So you're welcome to join us here at Beth Torah and via our virtual platforms. Rosh Hashanah is just a few days away. So Erev Rosh Hashanah is on Monday evening, and then Rosh Hashanah Day is on Tuesday. All of the information is online. It's in the e-news, on the website, on Facebook, but if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to reach out to myself, board members, or staff. And all of our services are multi-access. So you're welcome to join us online from home. And we're looking forward to coming together. We are just a few weeks away from our 17th annual CBT Golf Classic. This year's event will take place on October 4th at a new location, Falcon Lakes Golf Club in Bayshore, Kansas. Our most critical need right now is more golfers. If you play golf at whatever skill level, I'm not sure about my skill level, but we'll leave that for another time. We would love for you to join us for what should be a fun day under ideal weather conditions. Your entry fee of $150 gets you a round of golf, lunch, dinner, the chance to compete for prizes, access to our silent auction, and a commemorative gift. You can sign up by calling the office or by clicking on the registration link in the e-news that you receive every Friday. So we're looking forward to the golf tournament, which really isn't that far away. All right, and before we get to the small groups launch, which is about to happen, I just would quickly like to thank Marcia and Larry Rittmaster for sponsoring our to-go egg. Everyone here in person, we have some sweetness in the ulam in honor of Marcia's birthday yesterday. All right, Paula, come on up. So here we go. This is the launch of our 5782 small groups. Small groups bring our CBT members together through their passions. For example, watching movies, sharing book recommendations, coming together in the kitchen via Zoom and in person. So we have many different opportunities for engagement. This year, we are so excited to have 13 small groups, a mixture of ones continuing from last year and brand new. So Paula and I are going to read through our 13 small groups so you can have a taste. Everyone at home, I just posted on Facebook in the comments the link to learn more and the link to register. And for everyone here in person, we have QR codes on the to-go egg table so that you can join us. So here's a snapshot, and with that, here we go. Ready, Paula?
I'm ready.
All right. First, you can join Amy Franklin with the Walking Talkies. This will be CBT Walking Group's second year. Please join us as we continue to discover new walking trails around the Kansas City metro area, build new friendships, and enjoy the great outdoors.
Or you can join Marcia Rittmaster for Jewish Holidays, Food, and Traditions. Jewish history summed up in one sentence. They killed us, they failed. They tried to kill us, they failed. Let's eat.
You can also join Jill Nadehoff for Chai Mitzvah Jewish Journey, Musar Jewish Ethics Edition. Like a book club, only you don't need to read in advance. This group offers the opportunity to view critical contemporary issues through the lens of Jewish ethics. Discussions are inspired by source books created by a national team of rabbis and educators who provide biblical and contemporary Jewish and non-Jewish references. Super informal and interactive. Join us.
Or you can join Michael Crane for Grain to Glass. What is that bubbly, delicious beverage? You have heard of malted barley, but do you know exactly what it is? What makes a dark beer dark? What makes a sour beer sour? We will meet at Crane Brewery in the Barrel Room and learn how beer is made. Free samples will be available on various styles, from light, easy drinking to big, bold stouts and even sour beers.
You can also join, isn't this so much fun? We're having a blast up here. You can join Nina Schick and Donna Critchever for Fiber Arts. We are a group of friendly fiber artists, knitters, needle pointers, crocheters, and more, who like to visit and share ideas, pointers, admiration, and support for our current and future projects.
Or you can join Barb Mendelson at Who's Got Popcorn? In Who's Got Popcorn, we will review uplifting movies while uplifting each other. It is BYOMS. Bring your own movie snack. See you on Zoom.
You can also join Howard Pittler for Shabbos and Jazz. What could be more fun than attending Friday night services here at Beth Torah and then heading out as a group to a different KC area jazz club once every month? This is an adults-only group since most of the clubs are 21 plus. We will likely stay at each club for one set and head somewhere fun for dessert and conversation.
And Sheila Goldberg will be doing coupons for Troupons. Is your recycling bin overflowing with coupons? Is your cupboard filled with scissors? If you've answered yes to either or both of these questions, Coupons for Troupons is for you. We will be collecting and cutting manufacturer coupons for Troupons, a program of support our troops that gives coupons to military families overseas.
You are welcome to join me for Yalla, Let's Go Conversational Hebrew for Beginners. Imagine this. He in Hebrew means she, and dog in Hebrew means fish. Join me to learn conversational Hebrew and Hebrew nuances via Zoom. We will learn from various sources, ranging from Mishkan Tefillah, our prayer book, to Israeli pop music. See you there.
Or you could join me for Kansas City Barbecue. Pick up your favorite choice of barbecue on the third Thursday dinner for each month. Eat and talk with fellow congregants on Zoom.
Just a few more left. We have Todd Davison with Soul Stirring 101, a dialogue on our own humanity. Is there more of you to bring to life? Does the spark within yearn to shine just a little bit brighter? Join us for thought-provoking conversation and exploration for how we show up in the world and how we unwrap our unique gifts from within.
And Elizabeth Lentz will be leading the Favorite Books book club. Looking for a good book to enjoy and then discuss? Come find out what others love, read them to see if you found a new favorite book, and share your favorites as well.
And last but not least, with Emily and Andrew Kirstein, we have the Gen Xers. This group is for Gen Xers. You know who you are. Come as couples or on your own. There is no immovable plan, but we expect to have some fun. This group will go out to restaurants, take field trips to places around KC, and share experiences based on the group's interests. So these are our small groups. We are so excited. Most of these are meeting virtually via Zoom at this time, and we'll see how it goes in the future. More information in the Ulam for those in person, more information in the comments for those online, and we can't wait to connect.
That's so Gen X. What's your plan? I don't know. It's the end of the world as we know it.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It's exciting. 3 years of small groups.
wow.
Keeps growing. Thank you.
Oh, not yet.
No.
Sorry,
wait a
I'm
minute.
excited.
As we conclude our last Shabbat of Elul, we're going to hear the shofar one more time before we hear it again on Monday morning. If you're able, please stand on page 91. Baruch atah Adonai shomea teruah. Blessed are you, Adonai, who hears the sound of the shofar. Tekiyah. Shvarim teruah. Tekiyah. Yashar koach, Larry, thank you. Together we conclude our time on this Shabbat singing Olam Chesed Ibaneh. It's on page 92. Yaradai, 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 yaradai. Olam chesed ivaneh. Yaradai, yaradai, yaradai. Olam chesed ivaneh. Yaradai, yaradai, yaradai. Olam chesed ibaneh. Yaradai, yaradai, yaradai. Olam chesed ibaneh. Yaradai, yaradai, yaradai. I will build this world from love. Yaradai, yaradai, yaradai. us build this world from love. Yada die, yada die, yada die, die. And if we build this world from love, yada die, yada die, yada die, die. Then God will build this world from love. Yada die, yada die, yada die, die. Ooh, yada die, yada die, yada die, die. Ooh, yada die, yada die, yada die, die. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom.
Take care of each other out there.